So in today's training demonstration, I'm going to show you how to approach a dog that has never learned to be still, quiet in his kennel, or who has learned while he's at the kennels to be more aroused as people come by. And I'll show you by using a clicker and treats how you can teach the dog to give you calm behavior. The clicker is used to mark the behavior that I then deliver the treat for. I will deliver the treat in the position where I want the dog to be. So what you saw there was a dog that was totally excited, barking, wanted to get out of his kennel, wanted some sort of excitement. I started clicking and treating for nothing at all, just for existing on the other side of the fence with me. As you noticed, his behavior got more and more calm, if you want to call it calm. He was barking less, he had 4 paws on the floor, and then I was clicking him for that.
Okay.
So you notice that we have very short training sessions. In the second training session I started where I left off in the first session, which didn't work, and you noticed after a while Billy got stuck by the door and he was barking there, he didn't come to take the treat. So I made it easier for him by delivering the treat where he was. Then I started working my way backwards again. Towards the end of the training session I started to try and give him a little slower rate of reinforcement, so I wasn't clicking and treating as often, and that again gave him time to start barking again. So that was too slow, so now I know that I need to keep the rate of reinforcement a little higher. Billy has been practicing this behavior for 2 months while he's been in the kennels, which means that we're not going to fix it in 2 sessions, but you may be surprised. So in this third training session you may have noticed a good sign that he's calming down a little bit. He was able to, when he dropped the treat, he was able to bend down to the floor and get it and look for it, which he didn't do during the first session. Until now, all we've been teaching him is that there is a chance to get reinforcement for something, whatever. He probably hasn't made any connection yet. Now I'm going to start testing and see how much progress we're making. So now I'm going to start making notes for each training session. I'm going to take out 10 treats in my hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm going to use those 10 treats in the training session. I'm going to see how many times he barks during that 10 treat click and treat training session. Okay, so we got once we got started in that training session, because I didn't start until we had 4 paws on the floor, we had 1 barking session, which means we had 9 successes and 1 failure, if you like, 90%. That means that we can actually push him a little further, and I'll try and delay my clicks just a little bit more to extend the time that I spend those 10 treats in. Lower the rate of reinforcement, push him a little harder, ask for more longer silent periods between each click and treat. So we pushed a little harder there. As you saw, it took a little longer for him to get his 4 paws on the floor for us to get started. Then we had a couple of breakthroughs of barks, and that's fine. I think we had about 4 or 5 barking episodes during the spending those 10 treats, which means we are sort of on the level now where we want to be for a little while, and wait for improvement. I'm going to give him a little bit of a break, 5 minutes before we start again. Just let everything, let him digest what we've just been doing. Sometimes that works, sometimes it doesn't, but it also gives me a chance for a break. In that session, which went quite well actually, but 2 observations. One, I think he's barking for his new daddy, who's standing next to the camera, so we're going to remove daddy. And I forgot the second one. What was the second one? Yes, when I went back because he was quiet, he was still, and I just wanted to click and treat one more time when I approached the gate, and he was actually 4 on the floor quiet, which is what we want, right? little bit less jumping there. I have lowered my criteria. I'm only clicking now for 4 on the floor as opposed to 4 on the floor and silent. We're still getting quite a lot of barking. The barking is obviously very ingrained, so we'll break it down and just do 4 on the floor for now. In saying that, I then changed my criteria. I did a second training session back to back with the first one, where I stepped away and came back, stepped away and came back. And that was quite successful, so maybe we'll try that for a little while. So that session was more successful than the previous one. So it's possible that somebody standing at the gate is also a trigger for barking, which is not unusual in a kennel dog. What we see there is possible that Billy, like many dogs, is very sensitive to the pressure of personal space, being inside the personal space of somebody else. We all walk around with a bubble around us, and when those bubbles collide, we have pressure, social pressure from each other. So by stepping away, turning my back, I'm relieving my social pressure from Billy. He's more willing to take the treats, which is a good sign, which also tells us he's less aroused, and this seems to be progressing well.